So we're back here on the Duncan Duo show on 970 WFLA talking about the local real estate market. Wanted to talk next, you and David, you were mentioning you saw the article about 3D printers. People now building apartment complexes with 3D printers. Where was it, China?
It was in China. Yeah.
It's crazy because the technology today, I mean, a 3D printer builds a property. I mean, that's just the weirdest thing. But technology is getting to the point where a lot of things are starting to get automated. 3D printing, speaking of 3D photography is something that's starting to come around. So a buddy of mine in Detroit, his name is Mark Zawida, Mark Z, one of the top agents in the country, and he just recently bought one of the 3D cameras. And they cost, like, I want to say they're like $5,000, but anyway, this 3D camera literally can take 3D images and 3D video of a house, and then you put the 3D tour online. And when the very first one I saw, it looked a little, because we've all seen the virtual tours, right? But this is different. This is like, this is intense,
Really?
This is not a virtual tour. This is literally like the point of taking a tour of the home without being in it. So the technology is getting to the point where eventually you're going to be able to, on a computer screen, not even have to go to a house, where real estate agents are going to invest in the technology to put that kind of stuff in it. And the 3D photography is remarkable. It's something we're testing and looking at as an option for us because, we like kind of being one of the first people in the market to do something. And, I'm pretty confident within the next year we'll be doing it. But I'm looking at the technology, and it's really cool because I think it's going to the point where eventually people are going to buy homes that are not even going to step foot in. That's crazy.
So how can you look at a 3D property on a flat screen on your monitor?
Well, so there's now 3D TVs, right? And that's where it's going. So 3D monitors, 3D TVs. Okay. I mean, so it's
You'll
not
have to excuse him. He can't.
I just got on Facebook this year.
So here's the best part about it. So the cool part is there's apps and there's way to retrofit monitors to make it easier to see the 3D stuff. But the technology is coming where all the monitors are eventually going to be 3D. All the TVs are going to be 3D, and literally you can take a tour of a house without even ever stepping foot in it. And it's really remarkable to believe that. But I believe in my real estate career's lifetime, we won't be showing homes anymore.
It's really cool. It's really scary in a way too. Just the amount of technology that's available out there. Yeah.
There's an agent in California that's testing a concept that hasn't been done yet, but he calls it a live open house, and he has so many cameras set up in the house that literally just streams video online. So for 3 hours, you can literally click online and you can just see the house like in video format in a live feed type setting. And I think it's going there. I mean, you think about the security cameras in homes, and it's going that direction. I mean, I've seen some funny stories lately, and they've come out in the press where homeowners who've had cameras in their home have caught realtors doing things. There's one a couple years ago on, I don't remember which TV station, but where a realtor was having an affair in a home that was on the market, and he didn't know that it had cameras. He didn't know he was being filmed the whole time that he was doing stuff, and his home he had listed. But from a technology perspective, it's getting to the point where eventually, and we see it less today. There are less showings before a home goes under contract today than there's ever been. Part of the reason for that, so consumers that have sold lots of homes before, they're like, my home's only been shown 4 times, and they start to panic because when I sold it, in 1984, it had 19 showings the first weekend. Well, today it's because of technology. People are going online, they look at the video, they look at the photos, they kind of scrub their list down. So the showings today, especially if you're working with a great agent that uses great technology, are really like second showings because they're using the technology.
What's the average number of showings that you have to show a buyer before they commit to buying?
I would say in our company, it's probably around 10.
Okay.
Because I think they do so much on their own, driving neighborhoods, but realistically, more than anything, looking at Google Maps, looking at Google Earth, looking at all the different technology that's out there to rule out a neighborhood or a house from an aerial view. So for us, it's not as much. You don't show as many homes today as you would in the past, but you have to spend more on technology to be able to showcase the homes better to the audience that wants to look at them online. And eventually, it's going to be, it's going to be streaming video. It's going to be,
So what would you say 10 years ago? How many showings were?
It's more than double that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, more than double that. And because consumers then, the only way they had to see the home, back then, you even had people that were putting homes on the market with one photo. When I first got into real estate, the company I went to work for, the agent that I was working with, would only take one photo of a listing. And the argument that she made was that I don't want to give them that much information because then they
Right.
won't want to call to see it. Today's consumer, if you only give them one photo, they're just simply not going to call you. They're not going to be curious enough because they think you're hiding something if you only show them one photo.
Right, it used to be that, those mailbox things with the flyer that you go by the house and you
Sure.
have that. I used to always get the comment, I don't want to put the price on because then I will never get a call.
Right.
And now it's like.
If you don't put the price in there, you're hiding something. I'm not
Exactly.
calling you. You're deceptive.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
So what's interesting though about the technology is that it really is changing the game, and I think it's going to change it all the way across the board from a standpoint of many years from now, we're going to get a call and it's going to say, yeah, I'd like to walk through the inside of this home, and we're going to be like, what?
We'll just tell
You want to
them.
do what? How do I do that? I don't even know what to do. And, let me call the owner and get a key. Like
Yeah.
it's literally going to be that is what the future
Yeah.
of real estate's doing. And I can't say that you're not, that people still aren't going to want to see the inside of the home, but it's going to get to the point where it's going to become less and less important.
Well, I think it's good. I think it's good for transparency. I think it's good for time efficiency. I think it's all positive stuff. But I think it's just at the end of the day, we can be able to do more with our time.
Yeah, and the exciting part about technology as it evolves is that, like you said, it makes you more efficient. And I think in the home selling process or the home buying process, it's a tool. It's a tool in the tool shed. It's not the only thing to rely on. And one of the tips I always give people is, look, you go look at a home, Wednesday at noon, and you like it. Well, what happens in the neighborhood at 7 o'clock at night, or what's going on Friday at 9? Drive through, check out the property at some different times of day, and that's the cool part of some of this technology. If they set up all the cameras the right way and they put an outside camera, you can literally move the camera around. Even the drone technology, all that kind of stuff. Where Amazon's talking about delivering packages with drones. Could you imagine having the ability to take a smaller drone through a home? To move around. Oh, let's look into this closet, or let's look into this room. The technology is coming to where that is going to be reality, and it's amazing.